Welcome to Chargeheads. My name's Tim. We're at the Chargeheads garage. So, it says it there, doesn't it, Ralph? I thought I'd just interject because I've got some really exciting news, and just I thought a bit of a summary would probably be good for some Chargeheads who are new to the channel. So, starting with the news, finally monetized after 2 years. So, thank you so much for all the early Chargeheads, all friends and family. I'm now projected to make, I think it was £7.50. I don't know if that's in the year, I'm not sure. But thank you so much, and keep watching and telling your friends. Let's get some more Chargeheads on board. So with regards to the summary, you'd have probably seen from the beginning, there were some early videos, and those had me going to see the car in the first place, then taking out the engine with Stuart, and a couple of other videos going to see Electrogenic, etc. And then the kind of unveiling episode 1 and a bit, where I introduced Ralph from the start of the project. So this project started an exciting electric car using used parts, used motor, used battery. It's taken a long time to get here. I'm sure the early Chargeheads can certainly agree with that one. But in this episode, an update on where we're at so far. Unfortunately, some sad news. The TVR Griffith is up for sale. You know, needs must, and you know, you can't have too many cars, and it'd be nice, you know, just to have more electric cars and less petrol cars, I suppose. But anyway, on with the footage. Here's the update. So Ralph, you're going to give us an update on the TVR Wedgie. Yes, you're not behind yourself.
Yeah, I was just checking. Sometimes I'm often behind myself. Sometimes I'm beside myself.
Yeah, so what's been happening, Ralph, on the Wedgie builds?
So there's been a lot of development on the battery box side of things. We've been finessing that, trying to get it fit in a space it was clearly not designed to fit into. We've got the charge controller from Eco Classics there. That's on compliant rubber mounts there. We're designing the main junction box is going to go here. So because we've split the battery box into 2 areas, we've got the rear battery box will come in 2 cables into the junction box there. The front battery box will feed into it, and from there the contactors will switch the power on to allow power to the inverter, to the charge controller, and to the DC-DC converters.
Excellent.
So that's all going in. The rear battery box, that's developed somewhat, so now we can actually get the whole thing installed without taking the body off the car. And we've incorporated the main cross brace that goes between the 2 uprights that usually hold the seat belts on.
Let's go and have a look at that, because I want to see the cross brace. That'd be great. Right, so, oh yes, definitely development here. So this is the cross brace here that's in with, what do we call these?
This artifact from the 17th century, also known as your seatbelt mount. So these are the uprights that hold the seat belts on, but it's the only piece of structural steel in the whole fiberglass shell. So they're really important. Now, there used to be a piece of tube that went across from one side of the car to the other, which was held together with 2 genuine TVR grub screws. And that's the only thing that gave you any side impact support. It was terrible, and it was also completely rusted out.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're using this as a template to develop a new cross brace system. It will be slightly bigger than this when we finished. And we've got 2 layers of battery box, the lower layer and the upper layer, and this bolts through that cross brace and the bottom battery box to make the whole thing very stable. Now, because we have to make the battery boxes capable of taking a 10-ton side impact, they're very strong. So we've put a nice gap between the side of the car and the battery box, so there's a bit of a crumple zone. But they've got enough strength we can actually use them as a structural member and add stiffness to the car using the battery box.
Excellent. Safety.
That's what it's all about.
What TVRs have never had?
Safety and some traction out the rear, because there'll be a bit of weight on the rear wheels.
Yes, that is important. Yes, definitely. And is there anything else that's been happening in the workshop? I think Rob's over there sorting out the battery box.
Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look.
How are you doing, Rob?
Hello, mate.
Smell of fresh paint, I love it.
You smell nice. What's that?
Gin.
So that's the front battery box. The coolant plates are going in, and we're running the coolant pipes through the bottom of it there, so they'll come out. So effectively all of this will be on the outside. So what we're going to do is then put a sheet of aluminium across the top there and hermetically seal that in. Hermetically, that means water can't get in.
Ah.
And we have to make sure that the heat transfer into this is really good. So we're going to cover this in thermally conductive paste on both sides of the aluminium sheet, so it conducts heat to and from the battery modules properly, and that completely seals it. Now, one of the things we want to make sure is that if there is a coolant leak, it can't get into the battery, any of the high voltage stuff.
Yep.
So by sealing it off this way, if there is any leak, then it goes down and not near the batteries. And also, if you crash and roll it, you won't get coolant leaking into the battery.
There we go. Reliant Robin.
I'm just saying.
That's good to know. It's good to know. And this thing on the back.
So the penthouse suite.
The penthouse. Ooh, there's something inside.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, just stop. So again, it's in development. It's not finished yet. We're going to have some contactors here, and the main wiring from the front battery box goes in there. Wiring from the rear battery box will come up underneath into it there. The inverter cabling will go down through there, and we can have a little fan to blow a bit of cooling air over the Orion battery management system to keep that cool.
Excellent.
When we need to as well.
Is there going to be any heating on the batteries, or are we going to play it by ear?
So for the first iteration, being mindful of your budget, we're just going to run it as a cooling system.
Yep.
But where the pipes come out, there'll be ample opportunity. If you want to, we can add a heater into that thing at a later date.
Fantastic.
One of the key things about this project is making sure that everything is upgradable and changeable later on. So as different battery technology comes out, or you want to add different features, we don't have to rip the whole thing apart again.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Ralph. Thanks for the update, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next update.
Excellent.